So we left it on Cage starting to cast Tidal Wave, which I cast just in case I was going to be late.
Yeah, that's correct. Now I've updated Cage, so I've leveled him up. So everyone's... I beg your pardon?
It was asking for a couple of feats and stuff when I logged into Cage. It was saying there's a few things.
How long ago was that?
Done. That was before I went out for the test.
I haven't fixed that then. I'll let you fix those. I've chosen some spells for him. Hey, Maddie, you got your hand up?
I'm just wondering if
or something.
We're going to address this situation that's going on.
We had that discussion briefly.
Did we already address that? Did the group already discuss what the fuck was going on?
It's coming off within 12 hours, so we have nothing to worry about.
Okay. It's good.
Does make him look very evil, doesn't it, though?
Oh, I went with something else.
You went with pervert, didn't you?
That looks like the guy who goes into the public libraries.
That's right. Anyway, no, it's the last of my ritual growing, Christmas beard. I go before I go back to work. Yeah.
Dad, you should follow suit. Get rid of yours.
Well, see, I usually do that. What I normally do is I have the beard, then I do like the chops with the goatee, and then I do the goatee, and then I do the moustache. It's a series of, sort of coming towards the end, extreme measures. So.
Dad did that a few years ago, and now it's ended up as one of his Facebook profile pictures, and it's the same picture he uses for everything, and it's just horrid. And he's like, "Oh, I look so cool. I look like a biker." Nobody thinks that.
Excellent.
I was going to say, Ben, my sister dates a biker, and his beard is like classic ZZ Top. Like all of them have that long with the blunt cut.
I'd love to grow a beard like that. It'd be so cool.
Would you?
Ew.
Oh, yes. That's horrible.
All right. Let's bring us on down into the game. Okie dokie. They have somewhat fixed the moving pages around, so everyone should now find themselves here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And with that...
So this was Fisk. So yes, everyone was running out of the building so that Cage could cast Tidal Wave from outside. Right. So it was like, and Starfire. It was like everybody out. Cage
as
is
the building
casting a spell.
Struck and the flames started to leap up around where the glass blowing facility was, where the strange medallion type thing you found in the sand was located.
Nice one, mate.
Thanks, Dad.
Is Fisk going to move out of the building as Cage casts Tidal Wave?
Yeah. Sorry. Risk is fine with me.
I might add, Maddie, thanks for that. I'm on a 90-day, I've got a personal trainer, 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
I've got no alcohol. I've got no food.
Well, I got no food, so I need the alcohol.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Get you through quarantine, absolutely.
They limit you in quarantine. You're only allowed 1 bottle of wine per day per person, and or and Dad goes, "What the fuck?"
How can you survive on 1 bottle of wine per day?
Because I'm not an alcoholic.
There we go. Okay, so Fisk races out of the building, joining the rest of you out near the outhouse.
Yep. He spits into his hand. No, it's a drop of water from the flask. I don't think a tidal wave of spit would be very attractive, would it?
No.
No.
Speaking of Cage, is Timothy coming back?
I spoke to him, and he basically is still sorting his life out. They're travelling around at the moment, so he's probably not going to be there for a while. So anyway, that's okay. So he begins to chant, "Lorem maxim aliquam erat visti," and out comes the tidal wave. I got a tip while over the break. That is the lorem ipsum generator, and just take lorem ipsum out, and you go dollar citament consectica incivitia lit. It sounds like spellcasting, so it's pretty cool. Roll that one out.
Okay. Does it help put out the fire?
Yeah, absolutely.
Does it help put out the drill?
Put out the witch.
Druid.
The one with the
Well, you don't know what happened to the druid. He's no longer in visual sight, because remember, he ran the other way, as you would imagine. The tidal wave washes there, the casks empty, floating upon it, the flames extinguished, and with that, a backwash comes back through and starts to wash out onto the lawn in front of you. The afternoon sun peeking through the fog surrounding the winery.
Okay. There are no blights or anything floating on the water that we notice spilling out onto
No,
the
but
lawn?
there are bits, there's detritus and, other bits and pieces floating out, but nothing of significant interest here. Oh, here comes a barrel down the stairs and rolls off
a couple of barrels.
southwest.
Oh, well,
Okay.
at least the fire's out.
Yeah.
Where did we leave the druids? Where did we last see them?
In the winery, but the antlered one was running in the opposite direction, as Dunk said, but the blights were behind us. So I'm hoping the tidal wave might have taken out some of the blights, but maybe not.
So I think we were talking about the druid probably ran outside, and that we should think about where they might appear next.
Should we go back in and the water settles and investigate what we haven't been to yet?
I don't know. I think given we've got what we came for, I think the intent was the gem. Do you remember the one that
But weren't we going to help sort their winery out?
attuned to? So from the last game, which I don't know if I added to the action list, we said one of the things we wanted to do was talk to the ravens to confirm the druids at Yester Hill do have a gem before we go to Yester Hill. And then confirm number of druids at Yester Hill. And because there were two druids on the loose, we were just trying to figure out what to do about those guys.
Oh, the symbol of mankind.
Yeah. So that's what Wolfrill attuned to, which is helpful.
And let's
It's
hope
not
those
attuned
ravens
yet,
are.
but will. Yeah, that's your plan. Yeah.
Will be attuned. Okay. But in terms of, I'm just trying to think. Bern, were you at the last game?
I thought I was. Yeah.
Yeah, because we were talking about Yester Hill and sneaking up on Yester Hill because it was pretty close on the map. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the map. Where's the map?
I just want to make sure we don't leave anything bad, something we don't know about before we go to the further afield. Have we met with, what are they called? The
Martikovs.
Martikovs?
That's who the ravens were, weren't they? Yeah. So the Yester Hill was to the south. So we're going to head.
These bad evil druids came in and did something to the winery.
We think they've got one of the other gems, so they need a gem for the winery to work.
Yeah, that's right.
We also had I thought Baba Yaga took a gem actually. Baba Lasaya, the other one, the other Baba, the witch from the swamp to the east, because they can't make the wine because the gems make the soils ripe. So.
But what was the druid doing when we came into that room in the beginning of the last game, mucking with the wine? One that I scared that then.
The one with the antlers.
Yeah. Then wrapped me up and entangled me. What are they up to?
I think they were looking for the holy symbol, weren't they? Because they were looking for something. So it was either a gem or the holy symbol. But we thought that the druids already took one. But the second gem was taken by Baba Lasaya scarecrows, according to our last lot of notes. So, but I did think the druid had a gem as well. Dunk, is that right? Did the druids have a gem, or we thought they had a gem?
Yes. So, in reflection, you kind of recall that. So several weeks ago, there was a raid by the scarecrows of Baba Lasaya, and they took the second gem. The first gem that went missing was 10 years ago, and Darvian blames his son Erwin for that because he was getting on the nookie and should have been on guard. And then 5 days ago, the druids raided and took the last gem, but now they're back looking for something else. That's what you have previously worked out and been told by Adrian, who was then killed and then brought back to life and flew away.
And hopefully made it home.
So, because we thought about trying to help the Martikovs and get the second gem, and then we were tossing up about trying to be back in time to the town for that really weird, freakish festival to work out what was going on.
We got a lot of shit going on.
Yeah. Shall we try and find a raven and just try and figure out if they can scan and work with us to figure out if the druids at Yester Hill do have a gem, because then we can help them get at least one back.
Well, they were watching us, so they probably are around. And just a reminder that if I was carrying anything out of the winery that we found there, it's hidden under my clothes now.
Quick look, I spotted one behind Nikki.
A raven?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Can you see it?
No.
I saw something flit past.
It's a currawong.
It's gone. A currawong.
Yes, so Nix, you do get. Oh, sorry, Wolfrel. I'm calling Nix the wrong game. Wolfrel, you do get the sense that you did see something moving in the fog to the south, but as you turn now to look, you don't see anything.
Did I get a feel for how big it was?
Did you see something moving?
I did. I saw like a little disc with looked like a person on it.
Could have been the druid that you were looking for, sneaking out into the mist.
Can I have a look into the mist?
You certainly can. Give me a perception check. As Wolfrel turns around and starts to look into the mist to see what she can see, she sees more mist, followed by some more mist. And just after that, guess what she sees?
More mist?
Starfire.
Maybe some mist.
Standing next to it.
I thought I saw something there, but maybe not.
Shall someone whistle for a raven? Does anybody know a raven call?
We just call out and go, Martikovs, we need to speak to you. I'll call out. Mm-hmm. I'll just say, Oi, Martikovs, we need to speak to one of you. Show yourselves.
Promise we won't kill you.
Yeah, there'll be no lightning strikes. We're good now. We're all friends.
We're sorry.
Yeah. We apologise for that misunderstanding.
We know not what we do.
Ain't that the truth?
The mist just echoes back at you without any result.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll call out and just say, Martikovs, if you can hear me, you got two choices. One is to show yourself and help us, and we'll try and get a gem back from Yester Hill or Baba Lasaya. If you ignore us, we're just going to go back to that weird little town and that weird little festival. Anything?
There's a flutter, and suddenly, behind you, stepping from behind the window,
Okay.
Darvian appears, and he says,
Ah.
I see you've seen those vile creatures off. Is it safe for us to return home?
We're not exactly sure how safe, because we're not sure where the other druid
He approaches
went.
up behind
But...
Fisk, and he looks down at Fisk and says, son, are you injured?
No.
I see.
How old is Fisk? Oh, okay. Don't worry about it. Just talking to myself.
What?
Oh,
okay.
Actually, I am injured. I realise. Yes, I am injured. Oh.
I see. He looks at you and basically brings his hand up and does 2 hit points worth of healing on you. He says, I shall ask you to accompany me through the winery to search to make sure it is safe. Is this something that you could do for me? And in return, I shall help you in some way that I can.
Yes, that's okay. Happy to do that.
He says, right, shall we proceed?
Yes, but while we're walking and talking, do you know how many druids there are at Yester Hill?
Yester Hill, yes, there are many. They're doing something strange. I believe that they are creating some sort of druidic beast. For what purpose I do not know, but I fear that it will wreak havoc through my land and through my vines. But it is important, though. And he stops as you're halfway through the ground floor. He stops and he turns to you and he says, as you're aware, I believe that there were once 3 gems that allowed us to grow 3 varieties of wine, from the very best, the Champagne de l'Estompe, of course, Red Dragon Crush, and the Purple Grape Marsh. But some weeks ago, we have been raided, both from the west and from the east, as if they have combined their intent to bring us down. The reason I have no idea, but without wine, the souls in this place will be forever lost. It would like being in quarantine with only 1 bottle per day. Hard to stomach and impossible to survive.
Okay, so do you think it's probably easier to retrieve a gem to help you with your winery from Baba Lasaya first, or from the druids, if we were to help you? We're on a bit of a timetable. We've got a bit of a schedule going.
I see. I would not know what to advise yet. Perhaps, given that the druids have attacked and you have seen them off, perhaps it is best that they are dealt with. We have not seen the scarecrows of Baba Lasaya for some time, but indeed the druids here, whatever reason they come back, I fear it is for something that I shall share with you, for it has been foretold that the likes of you shall come.
What might that be?
I have a very precious and powerful amulet here that will assist you in perhaps fulfilling the prophecy that has been foretold of the strangers who will come. And that is to see that evil one gone from these lands.
And that would be Strahd, right?
That is correct. My clan will assist you however we can. But I do ask that you do help us find the gems so that we can continue production. And as he walks around, he begins to sort of look at the vats, and it's these. He's sort of basically here at the two big vats here, and he sort of taps on them and basically realizes that they're still full. He goes, this is good. We have some wine that I can at least barrel and ship to for the next few 10-day.
I'm going to let him know that I observed one of the druids tampering with the wine in some way, shape, or form. Not sure what they were doing before we were attacked.
Okay. He basically begins to realise that the wine has indeed been poisoned, and he realises that there is only essentially one barrel of wine left in the entire place, which is the one that is on the wagon.
Yeah. It's going to be a very dry January.
And he says, what should we do with this? Perhaps we should take this to my son back at the Blue Water Inn. Whilst we have our differences, he is still family.
And we will do that. I'm going to look at Wolfrol and go, that whole, do we tell him we've got the amulet? The old...
Can you give me a deception, please, Maria?
Yeah, sure. This is going to end badly, I can tell, because Starfire's useless at deception. Hang on a second. Is that going to come up? No. Yes. No. Told you.
Darvian turns to you and he says, you already have taken the holy symbol? Were you to steal it from my family?
Well,
awkward.
We just came across it while fighting and chasing the druid. We thought they may have left it behind and secured it.
Show me it. Do you show him the holy symbol?
I'll hold it up for him.
Yeah.
Yes.
He grabs it and he goes, yes, this is it. You realise what power this has. You must pray. You must pray with this. And he's looking directly at you, Wolfrol. You must pray. And, hang on. You must pray with this holy symbol of Falcon. Right? As it's Falcon. And he holds it up and he says that with this mighty symbol, you perhaps can stop Strahd in his tracks and turn away his underlings. It has great power. It predates everything that we know about this land, but I do know that it's important, and my family and my order have protected it for hundreds of years until the coming of those who will release us from Strahd's grip, and I do believe that this is you. Take it, my dear, take it and pray. And with that he hands it back to you, Wolfrol.
Thank you. We're very grateful for that help. Have you ever used it, any of your family, in all of those years you've hidden it?
No, we have never used it. Whilst I'm sure that he knows about it, we have never risked using it, because should it fall into his hands and the trilogy of power fall into his hands, then all will be lost, and good knows, perhaps even beyond these lands he shall begin to wreak his havoc. For
Well, it's probably best if we keep it very quiet that is with us
yes,
now.
this is very true. I shall not even speak of it to my order. Do not show even my son, or speak to any of his compatriots or family even. This is most important.
So, Davian, back up to the trilogy of power. If this is one of them, what are the other two?
Legend has it that there is a sword of great power that will strike Strahd down. This sword has something to do with what we have lost here in Barovia. The sun.
Ah, the sun sword.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We've heard of such item.
And then there is another great powerful tome that we know Strahd has lost in recent years. And he seeks this with a vehement, and I believe that is held by the Dusk Elves. Perhaps you can engage with them on your return, for they might share this with you.
Yes.
Yeah. What order do you belong to? What is your order?
This I cannot speak. Yet let there be said that we watch you, and we will help as we can.
So,
and with that, he begins to continue on, and he indicates the barrel that is not broken on the cart. Then he goes upstairs and goes through all the rooms with you, and then he goes down into the basement. And as you go down into the basement, you notice that the door that was leading to the east remains open. He shuts that. And that was where you last saw the remaining Druid and Blight making their escape.
Okay.
was that 4 Druids that we rousted out of here? Or
Yeah. There were 2 that we saw.
And so, having looked over perhaps all of the winery, he now sits down with you and he says that yes, he would greatly appreciate, and his gift to you is already in your possession, and he beseeches you to seek a gem, at least one, so that production can begin, and then when you are perhaps ready, perhaps we can seek the second, and perhaps the mysterious disappearance of the third, for perhaps it is that evil bastard himself who holds it. It is unknown where that third gem, the original one that was taken from the lands, has gone. As I said, I suspect my son may be able to provide more information to you. But right now, I believe that my oldest son, Adrian, is in need of my healing, for he has been hurt. Hang on.
I'm really sorry about that too.
A group huddle while Duncan's doing that. We're going to go to Yester Hill and fight the Druids.
Kind of keen, because we're so close.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, let's go deal with them. I just didn't want to leave here if there was one hidden downstairs doing up to no good behind our backs.
Yeah.
That's a good plan.
Yeah, they did go outside that door. I was just wondering, do we have any spells to track people?
I don't know. I track people, but not very well.
Yeah, well, maybe you could try and track the Druids and just see if they have disappeared. You never know, you might get a lucky roll.
Yeah, I could probably have a go too.
Okay, cool.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. What's the plan?
That's okay. Fisk and Wolfrill are going to try and see if we can track those druids to make sure they've left and gone back to Yester Hill before we head to Yester Hill.
Okay.
We're trying to make sure the winery's safe before we leave. Davian and his family. That's the plan.
All right.
And Arena's just going to come along with us because she has to.
So you're back out. You're back out. You should have. I'll just found yourselves. So hopefully you're all good there. So you're back out the front of the winery, or the back of the winery really, amongst the vines, and it was down here that Wolfrill saw some perhaps druids sneaking off. And if you watch the YouTube video, you'll see some little icons very slowly moving across the bottom of the screen, but no one took any action, so that's cool. They made their escape. But as the afternoon now wears on, Davian comes back to you and says, I ask you to spend the night with us, for you should not travel on the roads back to Valakai, or wherever it is that you wish to go.
Okay. So, Yester Hill or bust?
Are you intending to make your journey tonight to Yester Hill? For it will be perilous on the road.
I think could we do a long rest, everyone? Because I'm pretty hammered.
We're going to need all the hit points we can get, don't?
I think so. And spell slots.
So I'm just moving you into the building. You'll see that you're inside one of the areas where as members of his family are returning. Elvira, the youngest, Stefani, his daughter, Stefani's husband, Doug. They begin and they all come in and they all ask you, and thank you, I should say, for saving the winery. And they offer you some wine. They actually offer you a bottle each of the Red Dragon Crush that they have on hand, although they are bitterly disappointed at the number of bottles broken in the cellar. They're saying that there's no great, if you're going to Yester Hill, that's fine, then leave the barrel here, and we will try and we don't know what will drain the poison wine out, but we'll certainly we will look at taking the barrel ourselves to the Blue Water Inn to save you the journey. And I think Steph and Adrian should be well enough tomorrow to travel. So whilst you're travelling, they'll take the barrel to the Blue Water Inn.
Fantastic. That works well.
I'm just going to chuck that into the action log, that we don't have to worry about that then.
Okay, so the Martikovs host us for the night.
Yes, they host you for the night, and they basically tell a bunch of different stories and all that sort of stuff, and did you guys want to have a chat with them or anything like that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe they can tell us stories about Strahd.
Well, they say that that Strahd is the land is Strahd, and that nothing goes unnoticed by Strahd. And they say that even they believe that whilst Strahd is aware that his family are perhaps not allies of his, and sort of perhaps take actions to support the enemies of Strahd. He's not really aware. He has not actually confronted them. Whether he tolerates this or whether it amuses him, they're uncertain. And they certainly say that the wolves and the direwolves that prowl the woods are definitely not afraid to attack. And However, well-armed groups of hunters and trappers have managed to kill several, but there seems to be a never-ending supply, and that they've heard of werewolves even, and the curse of lycanthropy is very ubiquitous in this domain.
Really? It's common.
Yeah. That's not corporate speak there, Maria. It's common.
It's
Ubiquitous
common.
in this
They say that there's a Vistani camp where they live with the Dusk Elves, and that this is where you should visit. And perhaps they've heard a rumor that the Vistani hold one of the triad of things that you should be seeking.
We've heard that too.
Do they know where the other one is?
I beg your pardon?
Do they know where the other item is? The sword?
No, they don't know. They've heard. Hang on, sorry, wrong music.
Does anybody else think Annabelle was about to
Yeah, that's all right. But what they do know is that it's held somewhere, and that gets them onto the haunted mansion that's not actually too far from where they are, and it's sort of it's back towards Valakai, but Argen Vosholt is an old mansion that they believe is haunted. And legend has it that a dragon died there a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
And
that's the place I need to go
and
to.
they're saying that just beyond that, further to the south, is the village of Berez. And that village has been abandoned for decades. Legend has it that its burgomaster committed some terrible offence against Strath, and that the entire village incurred his wrath. And ever since then, it's been uninhabitable. And they're certain that that's where Baba Lysaga lives these days.
Okay.
And so pretty much that's pretty much most of the conversation over a bottle of Red Dragon Crush that you have all partaken in.
Not the poison Red Dragon Crush, I hope.
Say again?
Can I ask them another question?
I said not poisoned.
No, not poison. Yeah, it's a bottle from the cellar.
Will they tell us anything about the politics of ravens in these lands?
Of ravens?
Now that yeah. So, obviously, they've been following us, but should we be wary of other ravens?
Darvian just sort of turns as he's leaving the room, as he's bidding you good night as you ask this. And he turns and he says, I can speak with authority on this, my dear. The ravens will watch and will have your back. You have nothing to fear from the ravens. And with that he says, I bid you a good night. I suggest that you stand ready, for I do not know if those creatures will return later this evening, or whether you have seen them all off. But what I do know is that in the morning we must busy ourselves, for a new day will be born, and many Barovians will need their wine, and we must endeavour and endure to recover the gems best we can. Good evening, and thank you again. Thank you, and I wish you all well in your journeys. And I shall see you again, I am sure. That he shuts the door.
Okay, well, thank you.
Good night.
Evening.
Okay. Shall we agree to stand watch, just in case something comes back?
Yeah, I think we should do our usual just in case. But I think we're fairly safe here, but just in case.
Yeah. assume we're all sharing a room.
Yeah, you're all in that. They've brought in blankets and some materials to make a pillow and all that sort of stuff. So, in the sort of vat room that they've provided you there, that's where they're. That's sort of the crushing room. They've given that over to you so that you can spread out and make yourselves as comfortable as possible. Obviously, they didn't want to, their family live upstairs, and you are admittedly strangers, whilst the prophesized people who perhaps will free the land, but they certainly didn't offer you the stables like your first night here. So things are looking up.
Okay.
So
I think we'll be fine. I don't think we need to keep watch. Their family's upstairs and they're going to sleep.
Well, no, I'm just more worried about because these are stairs, right? Sorry, I can't see the whole room, but I guess if we can just make sure everything's locked.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I think if the druids come back, that's what I'm worried about, or if they get the bloods to come back.
If there could be a druid that's hidden hiding that we didn't find.
Yeah.
We should always have a watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I'll take first watch.
Okay.
Right, so it's just a
I'm happy to
single
take
person watch?
Yeah.
Okay, each of you give me Constitution saving throws, please.
Alrighty.
That sound good.
They'll be fine. We'll be great.
What sort of saving throw?
Constitution, please.
I didn't mean to do it twice. It just happened.
Okay, and what's the order of your watch?
I said I'd take second watch.
Okay.
Me and my mate will take third.
Mine come up? Sorry, I'm just looking for.
Who's your mate?
Irina.
Oh, so you're doing it together.
Yeah, Irina and I don't do alone watches. I don't trust this bitch.
Right.
Okay, that's
nice.
Cool.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, then the two of you knitter and natter and glare at each other over the evening. And who's after you two?
It'll be Cage.
Okay. So who's after Cage? That would be Wolfrall. Is that right then?
Me.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you're the last watch. Is that right? Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So Fisk, given that you've had the sort of most uninterrupted sleep, you wake early as it sounds above you of morning and the smells of cooking, some form of breakfast wake you up. You see Cage asleep near the door, and Wolfrall also asleep, as is everybody else.
Yeah. I'll get up and it was Cage who was the last one, wasn't it?
No, Wolfrall was meant to be
Last
last.
one.
I'll give Wolfrall a nudge and say you fell asleep during the watch.
Or did
No,
Cage
no.
did Cage fall asleep and forget to wake Wolfrall?
I don't know. Someone's fucked up.
We're making a habit of this. This is bad.
There's a knock at the door that startles you.
Hello, we call out.
It's Stefani, Davian's daughter, and she has a plate stacked high with what could be described as some sort of potato or some sort of root mashed pancakes.
Nice.
And provides those to you.
Yay.
They say that you're welcome to join them upstairs in the dining room, but her husband and Adrian are about to leave, and they've just got the horses, and they just wanted to have a quick word with you before they left to see what was happening in Valaki before they head. If anything on the road, if what was happening was was the festival going ahead? Was what's happening?
Yeah.
And based on that, then Doug Tomescu, Steph's husband, steps into the room and goes, Hello again. Thank you for saving my family home. Um, my daughter's husband, my daughter's father is most grateful and speaks highly of you. Before I head, is there anything that I should know? Anything, any trouble on the road, or anything Velaki, that I need to know about? Obviously, there is a festival, but I believe that was yesterday. So I will get in and get out without having to partake in the happiness. And he weasels his hands like that.
I guess. What do we want to say? If they're not lingering, shall we just send a message to just tell the Martikovs that we're going to help with the family winery? So apologies for not bringing the wine back in person.
Yes, and should we mention the trouble at the...
Well, that's what I was thinking about. If they're only in and out to drop the barrel, do they need to know about a doppelganger wandering around?
Maybe it's worth warning them in case they can ask or try to get information.
True. Yeah, true. Okay, we'll tell them about our encounter with the doppelganger and just so that they're aware that they may not know who they're talking to. But what about the ringmaster? God, what's his name? Circus. We can tell her the circus is in town.
Yeah.
And what's his name?
Oh, is this the man who had the monkey? He sold the monkey and has some. Is this he has a walking stick? Strange man. Yes.
Yes.
Staying at Davian's place, the inn.
He goes by the name of Rick Tarvo.
I see.
Yes.
I've heard of this man. Yes. Interesting.
Yeah.
Rick Tardo.
Yes. Yes. I see. Is there some suspicion about him and his intentions and what he is doing? Because I have heard that he is quite a interesting man. His interests are well outside those of circus performance.
We haven't heard that much about him. What have you got?
Well, this is all I've heard, but you are now telling me that you have suspicion of this man at Davian's Inn. Perhaps
it's because we don't know much about him. We're suspicious about everybody. It's in our nature.
This is a good thing to have in Barovia. Suspicion of everyone will hold you well. For I suspect you all as well, especially you, little man.
And probably fair call on that one.
So he goes, okay, then. So there's the festival. What was the last festival they had?
The one we missed, the laughing one.
They were all laughing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We didn't pay much attention, did we? I think one of the things we would like to keep quiet, though, is if you happen to run into a very smooth-looking person who says he's our friend, Lord Vasily von Holtz, don't tell him where we are.
Yes. Vasily.
Don't tell him.
What do you make of Lord Vasily?
He's dodgy as fuck.
I see.
So...
I notice, young lady, your eyes fluttered upon his name.
Arena doesn't have great taste in...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ia's taste in men may be questionable as well.
Is thinking about whether or not she's going to date or eat him as a snack.
Yeah.
Yes, Irina says, I see, yes, Lord Vasily is a very charming man. Perhaps we should tell him that we are okay, because we had dinner with him, did we not 2 nights ago, and his friend, the good lady Vakta, and Davian son-in-law, Doug, sort of now starts to sort of, oh, I see, so you dined with Lady Vakta?
Yeah, but we're suspicious of her too. So if you could just tell no one what we're doing or where we are, that would be really helpful.
I see. No, you can trust me. Secrecy is my thing, you know. For instance, I have told no one of the traveler who came here some maybe 10 day ago, and his intentions to set up an inn in Berez. Yes, who would have thought that he said he was an innkeeper and new to these lands, and wants to have a surprise opening in Berez of his inn. But I have told no one of it, so you can trust me.
Oh.
You're very discreet.
Yeah, just questioning this traveller that came through 10 days ago. What did he look like?
Oh, he's a tall man. He's not from these lands. He said that he is journeying and has had his journey interrupted, and his trade is serving wine, and hence he sought us out. And we did provide him. He had some good gold too, interesting coin, not seen of these parts for many times. But yes, we gave him a couple of barrels of purple grape mush, and sent him on his way to Perez.
Huh. Did he stay overnight?
No, he didn't stay overnight. Do you know this man? Is he one of your compatriots? He seemed to have a similar accent to you, and he's certainly not from these lands traveling through. But quite entrepreneurial, intent on setting up a inn. He said he had been in the inn business earlier.
Strange thing to do in an abandoned town.
Oh, sorry, not Perez, Karesk. Sorry.
Where? Which town? I'm trying to look at the map.
Krezk. Yes.
Yeah. I was a bit worried he was
not Perez, that's my bad. I had Perez on the mind. No, Krezk to the west. He was going to set up an inn there.
Krezk. Sorry, I'm just looking at the map trying to figure out. Oh, Krezk, that's to the north, right? Okay.
Did you get a name for this man?
He introduced himself. His name was Carden, yes.
Carden.
Ringing a bell for me.
Not to me. Okay. Carden with a C.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, that was to Maria.
C or Carden with a K?
Carden with a C.
Oh.
Yeah. Possibly. Oh. I'm just trying to figure out the names of the Dusk Girls. We had a Casimir.
Maybe yeah, I'm not certain.
Yes, trouble. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my god, it's the cutest little meow.
Hey. Sorry. It's a bit attention seeking.
I love it.
He's just attention seeking. He's going through a bad period. He lost a lot of fur over Christmas.
Oh.
I know. Why is my screen being so dodgy?
Have you bought a proper computer yet, Maria?
No, dude, we've been in lockdown.
We're going to get this same thing rolled out for the next 5 years.
Well, if we're in lockdown that long, I won't be alive that long.
So Doug basically assimilates all the information, imparts that to you, and he and Adrian, who looks at you rather suspiciously, Wolfrel, from behind him, and shakes his head at you, and sort of goes towards you, and they then mount the cart, and they head on down the road, and
Yeah, Adrian. It happened again.
That was funny.
Have a nice trip. I'm wondering if I should have a go at bonding with this thing before we go to.
I'm thinking maybe the long rest.
Yeah, I had assumed that you would attune to it over that, and so I believe you should be able. Can you guys see? Can you see on the handout what it does?
I think it might be in my.
I think I sent it to you in chat anyway.
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah. Hey, Dunk, can you long rest Cage, please? Because I don't have access to be able to do that to his sheet.
Yeah.
Hey, Duncan. In the magic items in the handout, there's a staff there.
Yeah. You shouldn't be able to see a staff.
Yeah. I didn't remember us getting a staff, that was all. I mean,
Wolfrel had a staff.
Oh, no, the Gulthias staff. Yes, no, you got that off Druid.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, Wolfrel has it, I believe. Is that correct?
Right.
Yeah.
It's right.
Yeah, Wolfrel destroyed it, remember?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And the blights.
And then they all died. Yeah, that's right, all the blights fell down. So, sorry, hang on.
So I'm not sure how to take that out of my list, but it's in my...
No, that's okay. I forgot about it.
So I'm just sending you the details that you now understand about the holy symbol, okay, on Messenger. Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
So I will add that to your character as well. When we get a change.
It's in my equipment list already, but I don't know what these details are.
Okay. Have you manually put it in? Yep.
No, I think you did that before we
All right.
left.
Yeah. All right. These hit points of bloody... I'll fix these hit points there. They haven't... Yep, there we go. Okay, Cage is done. Holy symbol of Ravenkind done. The Martikovs have seen off Steph and Adrian as they clatter off towards Valakai. And now over to you guys. What do you want to do?
Should we start making our way?
Yeah.
I'm going to finish the last pancake first, though.
Highly advisable.
Sorry, I know you wanted it first.
So you are currently at the winery.
Mm-hmm. Do we get full view of the map?
Well, you've got your own map. You can look at what you need to look at.
That's effort.
And where do you intend on heading?
We're going to Yester Hill.
Southwest.
Yeah, we're going south.
So there seems to be a road on our Dastani map. Do we think that's the best way to go?
Probably.
Well, it depends if we want to sneak up on them, right?
Are we game enough to go through the woods?
Nothing happens when you go through the woods. Nothing good happens.
That's true. And
every horror movie starts with going off the trail.
And we know about the dire wolves and wolves not being afraid to attack, so we've probably at least got a better line of sight on the road, because otherwise they'll sneak up behind the trees. So yeah, okay, road it is.
Road most of the way, but then let's reconsider before we get there.
I'm sure they're not going to be all standing around like right at the entrance. They're probably got shit to do, and they're not expecting us.
They're building an evil creature to wreak havoc on the land. They might be busy.
Yeah.
They're silly enough to just rock into their place and visit them.
Hey guys, what's up? Just here to borrow some sugar.
Can see if
How many
that works.
people can Cage make invisible?
I think he can only make one. But just I have disguise self in my spells. Do you, Dickie?
No, but I have a fairy disguise if I need it.
Disguise one person. I've got disguise self. You've got fairy person. I don't really care about Irina. And old mate can run away. So
he's stealthy.
And he's small, so he could go up a tree.
Cage has the spell Seeming, which spell allows you to change the appearance of any number of creatures that you see within range.
So I can, so Cage can cast Seeming. Sorry, I was just going through all the new spells. You added some classics, but also some new ones, Dunk, like Dominate Person as well.
Yep.
Okay. Yep, so with Seeming, sorry, I'm just checking spell components. Just says, okay, so it's just visual sight. Okay, so each target you choose a new illusory appearance. An unwilling target can make a charisma saving throw. The spell disguises physical appearance as well as clothing, armor, weapons, and equipment. You can make each creature seem 1 foot shorter or taller and appear thin, fat, or in between. You can't change a target's body type, so you must choose a form that has the same basic arrangement of limbs. Otherwise, the extent of the illusion is up to you. So basically, I could make us look like a bunch of druids. Or Cage could make us look like a bunch of druids, like with antler hats and stuff like that. So we could try it that way.
Yeah, that's probably good.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it and get going.
So, sorry, I'm just trying to see how long it lasts for.
8 hours.
So 8 hours, yeah. So I guess, how long will it take us to walk to Yester Hill? Just look at the map of Barovia.
Doesn't seem that far.
Dunk, is it right that that's only about a 2-hour walk?
No, it's about a 7-hour walk. Yep.
About 7, 8.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll cast the spell when we get close.
Okay. All right. Well, take the cast the spell now, like on his character sheet. So take that spell slot out, and away you through. So as you go through the trail, through the let me start again. It gets caught in my moustache. It's fantastic. Whatever I drink then just dribbles down. It's a wonderful experience. The trail through the thick woods leads to a hill covered with dead grass and cairns of black rock. Dark, ominous clouds begin to gather high above, and a single bolt of lightning strikes the hilltop. Hang on, have I got lightning? Hang on. I do. Here we go.
The background music's faded out, by the way.
Has it? How's that?
Yeah.
A single bolt of lightning strikes the hilltop. West of the hill, the land, the woods, and the sky vanish behind a towering wall of fog. And so you see as the afternoon sun begins to set and the moon begins to rise, you see in front of you, as shown in the image, Yester Hill.
Dun dun dun.
What image?
Did you not see that on your screen?
Oh, I see it now. They've got the high ground.
No, I've got nothing. But that's okay. I'll believe you.
You got
okay,
nothing?
so no, I've got nothing. Weird.
Everyone else see it? Let's put it back up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll just refresh.
Okay, cast the spell, Maria. We are close to the top.
Yep. Okay, Cage casts Seeming and it makes us all look like druids with, dreadlocky hairs, a couple of people with antlers, that kind of stuff.
Cool. All right. Let me just get the party sorted. I shall now move you to Yester Hill.
I just envisioned Radagast the Brown. Everybody kind of looks like that with some bird shit, a little nest.
Who?
Radagast the Brown.
No idea. I may have to Google that.
Are you sure? You would
Rad.
know him.
Yeah, you know Rad.
He's
From Lord
our
of the
mate.
Rings.
Oh, okay. No.
Gandalf the Grey, Radagast the
Yeah.
Brown.
Right. Sorry. Gotcha now.
Wrong world.
I was thinking more like the kind of people you see walking up the street at Nimbin on a Friday night, but
Or that guy with the horns who stormed Parliament in the US.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Exactly.
I know. How funny was that? Have
Did
you
see
seen
the thing on The Simpsons?
they're saying all those it's 2021. This is Mad Max. When do we dress like this? And it's the next image is never mind. That's all right.
I was thinking
Mad Max. The original Mad Max was set in 1984, not 2021.
Anyway, don't ruin it.
I like the timing though, given it was January the 7th. I like the meme that was okay, we've had the free 7-day trial and I want to disengage from that now. Hand it back.
I'd like to cancel my subscription.
Exactly. No,
I
that
also
was
like how the Simpsons have appeared to predict everything. And there was a picture from a Simpsons episode of the same thing happening, and this was written 4 years ago.
Yeah, it was fake though. It was a deep. That was fake.
It's fake, fake news, mate. Fake news.
Oh, fake news! Shame. Does that mean the Barack stuff and the Trump one? Does that mean the Trump one was fake?
No, the fake Trump one was real.
Trump made a few appearances in The Simpsons.
Damn.
Okay.
Is there any sign of guards?
Just bear with me. You guys, it's an open world. I prepared for other eventuality, but you guys have gone a different way.
Oh, really? You didn't expect us to come to Yester Hill?
So, as you now approach in your druid guise, you can see that there's sort of dirt trails, sort of in 2 concentric rings of cans of those cans of stone that encircle the hillside. Each can is a 10-foot high mound of slimy black rocks. It's beginning to get very dark and quite spooky as night begins to fall.
Okay.
You see atop of the hill a wide ring of black boulders and smaller rocks, and the lightning strikes at the edge of the ring from time to time, illuminating a ghastly 50-foot tall statue made of tightly woven twigs and packed with black earth. The statue resembles a towering, cloaked man with fangs.
A wicker man.
Could this be Winter Splinter?
I don't like this.
The what?
Might be a radical idea, but to draw the druids out, shall we cast Fireball on the twigs and set it afire?
So at this stage, you're just still where you're...
Should we not burn everything? The change?
We could
Hey,
say
I'm channeling Cage. We're like, come on, we could Fireball this sucker.
Everything. Fireball.
Hey.
I honestly don't think that's a bad idea.
So I can lightning bolt.
You could lightning bolt it from afar. Though we might want to save lightning bolt for the druids, but if we set it on fire, it might draw the druids out, and then you could lightning bolt them.
Yeah.
And Cage now has lightning bolt too, so he could actually help with that.
So why do we disguise ourselves if we're just going to go in and throw a fireball straight into the Wicker Man and get into a fight? Well, I don't get it.
Because
don't get our plan.
You thought they were going to be like waiting for us at the...
So why don't we disguise for
You can't really see what it looks like, but I don't know if you can see it's back here, this 50-foot statue. But certainly it looks like it's trying to represent a human, or some sort of human-like. But you're too sort of far away to see at the moment.
Okay, Cage is just cast perception. He's going to try and take a really good look around and see if there's anything he can see, any movement, anything like that in the area.
How's he doing it?
He is basically just going to walk up a little bit ahead of the party. Oh, you could do that. You could sneak in.
Yeah, mind you, he did roll a natural 20 though, Bernard. So, so I'm going to put Cage a little further up here. All right, so he's gone ahead, and he's each square here is 50 foot, so he's about 150 feet in front of you, 200 feet in front of you now, looking up.
Yeah.
And he says that he then returns, and he sort of huddles back, and he says it looks like Strahd, and there's something glowing like a green sort of glowing gem or something in the heart of that great big wicker sort of man that they've made to look like Strahd. There's an eerie resemblance to Strahd, and I can see that there's sort of roots sprouting from the ground around its base.
What roots did you say?
And there seems to be a number of druids performing this ritual.
Ah, so there are druids.
Where are they? Where did you see them?
Up at the centre of the hill.
Right.
Okay, so, I mean, is now the time for Fisk to go invisible and sneak up and try and steal the gem while we distract the druids in our guise?
I don't go invisible, I stealth.
Well, no, I thought somebody had an invisibility spell.
Certainly me.
Cage.
Don't know if Cage did.
How big is each of the map squares, Duncan?
Hang on, sorry, I'm busy.
Sorry.
Maddie, can you just check Messenger? Right,
Yes.
What are the rest of you doing now?
I'm going to stealth up a little bit, Duncan.
Okay.
Creep up to the statue.
Shall we give you a bit of time, or shall we then just follow behind and distract the druids while you steal the gem?
Oh, just give me a bit of time. Let me do a recon first.
Okay. Okay, I'll ask Wolfraw. What do you reckon? With the druids.
Okay, so you managed to move up.
Yeah.
And what are the rest of you doing?
All right, Nikki, each square Duncan said was 50 foot.
Oh.
So we're still quite far.
Yeah, that is far. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to, if we wait for Fisk to come back. But I was just thinking, in terms of plans.
It would be...
Please don't fireball as part of your plan.
I won't tell you back until we have a plan. But I was going to say, I think we need the gem, right? Because the gem's obviously from the winery.
Do we know it's a gem, or do you just know it's a green thing?
We're just guessing it's the gem. But it's all we know is
it's green and it's glowing, and Cage thinks it looks like a gem.
It's probably a gem. Looks like a gem. Probably a gem.
Yeah. If we get an opportunity to get any of the druids separate while they think we're druids, we should them out one by one if we can. Maybe.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you guys doing?
They're probably tough as.
We're waiting for Fisk to come back first, Duncan.
Okay.
So we're just
Fisk
chatting amongst ourselves.
Further up.
Okay, as you move up further, you can see that you don't see any druids. Lightning strikes around the stone cans in that circle, quite randomly. So you can see that the ring of boulders that surrounds the field is about 250 feet in diameter and ranges from 5 to 10 feet high. Every now and then there's like a crack, but now you can see that the statue has an eerie resemblance to the man that you met on the road who took the tome from you.
Yeah.
Close inspection reveals sprouting from the ground around its base. These roots are part of a Goliath's tree. A Galtheus tree, whatever it is. And they wrap around the statue, providing added support. Yeah.
That's what the staff was made out of.
Yeah. I'll move a bit further around past the statue.
You're not crossing.
No.
At the south end of the hilltop is a sickly copse, which is directly to the south now. A grove of dead trees and shrubs with a huge misshapen tree at its core. You can see blood oozing like sap from its twisted trunk. Skulking around the tree are 6 gangly humanoid creatures covered with needles. Embedded in the tree is a shiny battle axe, beneath which lies a humanoid skeleton. So you can see that, and it's now starting to get dark.
Alright, I'll head back and report.
Oh, what was effective against needle blights?
As you're returning and you look west into the curtain of fog, Fisk.
Yep.
You see a white... Siri, no. Yeah, it's alright, Siri. You see a white fortress on a hill above a great city. The city appears quite distant, maybe a mile away. The fog obscures all detail, but you can hear what sounds like the echo of a church bell.
To the west.
As you look west into the curtain of fog, you see a white fortress on a hill with a great city. The city appears quite distant, it's maybe a mile away. The fog obscures all detail, but you can hear what sounds like the echo of a church bell.
Weird.
Okay. I get back to the group and report.
Okay, well that's weird. So the blade in the tree, was it a battle axe, did you say?
Yep.
You saw? And the skeleton there was definitely human?
He wasn't 100% sure.
Humanoid.
Okay. So you said how many needle blights were there?
I don't know. I could make out about half a dozen. But there could be quite a few more.
Okay. So needle blights don't like fire, right?
Oh god.
Either does half the character party.
But I guess, so we saw there were some druids up on the hill near the statue that looks like Strahd, and then you had the needle blights around the big misshapen tree.
I didn't see any druids, no.
Oh, you didn't see any druids? Oh, okay. Just needle blights.
Needle blight
Okay.
down further.
So where are the druids?
The Wicker Man was by himself up in the top.
So the druids must be close by because they control the needle blights, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm pretty
so
sure they do.
shall we go and
Paige
retrieve
says someone's coming. Someone's coming along the road behind us. On horse.
Oh no.
Let's get into the woods quick.
Yeah, hide.
So as you move,
Okay.
can you all do a stealth roll for me, please?
Please don't let this be Strahd.
It just definitely is, isn't it? Stealth. Cage ain't the most stealthiest. Neither Starfire. Starfire is definitely not stealthy. Starfire trips over her own tail.
Okay, how'd you all go? Okay. Right. Starfire.
Most people.
Starfire, as you're
Starfire
stumbling
falls
in, you're last to react, and as you turn, you and the rest of you see this this dark horse.
God, that looks scary.
It's a nightmare. It appears in a cloud of rolling smoke. Its mane, tail, and hooves wreathed in flame. The creature's unearthly black form moves with supernatural speed, vanishing in a cloud of brimstone as quickly as it appeared. As you see it now coming towards you, if you have a look in the chat, you see mounted upon it a distinguished figure, one that seems similar and perhaps familiar to you. As it goes past, it stops and looks directly at you, Starfire. It's Strahd. He goes, I see, have you come to cast upon my old lands? Come, join me.
But we're still in druid form, so is he seeing me as Starfire or is he seeing me as a druid?
That's what he just said. The nightmare is shuffling its feet, fire and brimstone coming off it, bits of leaf here and there, and he goes, I do not have all day. I offer you to come and glimpse upon my homeland, as this is the only place that I can see it. Suit yourself.
Okay.
And
I'll follow slowly.
I see, you join. And the nightmare goes to a trot, and Strahd, sort of sitting quite upright, takes you forward. And as lightning flashes around, he takes you to the top of the hill.
Just me.
Just you.
You
In
are
druid disguise.
no longer trusted by the party, and hereforth black band.
Oh, gosh.
You are now a wife of Dracula.
He doesn't do dragons. I think we're safe once I can, if I do. I've got 8 hours in this form. It'll be fine.
So as he trots up, he takes you to the side of the hill, and he says, he points to the effigy of himself, and he says, not too bad for a bunch of, people of the woods. Your illusion holds nothing to me. I see you for who you are, and I ask that you and your friends join me for dinner at some point. I shall send an invitation in the coming days. The great chaos that has befallen Valakai bemuses me and sees me out this way. I will return tonight.
Okay.
The visage that you see in front of you is teased me by the powers that imprison me in this land. It is my ancestral home. It is where I was born. You can see looking over the city, and sometimes it tantalizes me that I should be able to one day return. Try it. The
name of the city.
The ancients called this the Whispering Wall, for within it they could hear the whispers of voices from the past and future. They believe
the Whispering Wall.
They believe an ancient god gave up his divinity to preserve the world from destruction, and his last exhalation as a god produced this mist. Within it were all his memories and the world of all his visions. These dark powers took a bit of that fog and have twisted it to make this prison. And my memory of my home is echoed in this whispering wall.
Oh, so the city is just a memory. It's not real.
It is not real.
What is?
Take care, Starfire. And with that, Strahd turns. And he and his horse trot off at a great pace.
Bye.
I think I should try to take him on with the thing as he goes past. Maybe not.
I think once. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm left up on the hill.
You are indeed. Yeah.
Okay.
Next to Y1.
Is that showing? Can you see that?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Y1.
Y1.
That's really bad map making by the guys.
Yeah, it didn't. It only appeared during the Strahd thing. It wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Earlier.
Well, that's just me then. That's bad DMing by the DM.
What does it mean?
What does it mean? What does Y1? That will be an entire side quest.
Okay, so I'm going to look where the others are, and I'm going to stick up my little arms and, wave. Like, come on up.
We're still cowering in the bushes.
I know. I'm hoping that you can see. And I'm like hello.
Well, the horse went back past us. So, yeah.
It's safe for you to come up now.
I'll make the sign of the
We're safe
protection.
from the druids. That was
Okay.
a bizarre segue.
I'll tell them what he says, and I'm like, I'm very confused about this whole being imprisoned thing. You know?
Seems dodgy.
Yeah.
Maddie, you feel that you really want to go up to the sort of, where all those rock cans are. But you don't feel compelled, but you think that you should maybe have a look at some of those rock cans if you wanted to.
Okay.
That's just a feeling that you've got.
Do I have a feeling I'd like to stay hidden in the bushes?
You do, indeed.
What transpires?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, well, if E is going to come up the hill,
yeah,
then I can join her, and the two of us can then come and have a look.
I'll go up the hill.
I'll wait for you by the stones.
Where are you? Oh, I see you.
Yeah.
Okay, here as you go up. Whoa. Let's just come back.
She's fast, man.
As you come here, you feel a calling towards that particular can.
Oh, okay. The lower stones.
Feel drawn to it.
Drift like a zombie.
You feel that his spear is there, buried beneath it.
What's buried there?
I just start digging.
As you start to
Can I catch up to her when I see she's digging and just watch her back?
Just move down there. As you begin to move the stones, they're quite heavy, but you manage to roll them aside. And as you roll one apart, you see what seems to be a thigh bone. And then you make out in the mud a hip bone. But there's more rocks. Do you want to roll them out of the way? Rolling them away, you now reveal a long spear.
No, I pick up that spear.
Okay. So what we'll do, Maddie, is we need to add that, but because Carvin called you and chose you, you will get a +2 to attack and damage rolls made with that weapon. Okay?
Okay.
Can you read I assume you can see all the details in it? In the handout? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, cool. Okay, so you should be able to find that actually in D&D Beyond to add to your character, but make sure you then add a +2 bonus attack and damage. If you need help with that during the week, just give us a yell. If you're stuck in quarantine, I can talk you through it and do it with you.
Yep.
Okay. Starfire, what are you doing?
Sounds like a vampire, doesn't he? Okay.
I'll be back in 1 sec.
I'm waiting at the top with the others because I want to go try and grab this gem from the statue, but I feel going alone will be a bad move. So I continue to flail my arms and go, come on.
looking around, flailing your arms, trying to get everyone up there, you notice that there are a dozen covered graves scattered throughout the field. And at that particular point, you start to see some of them, as the rain begins to now patter down, some of them sort of move. And there's one that you see definitely moving right next to where Ia is digging. Yes, yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. I'm really hoping that Wolfrel notices it, because I don't want to call out in case the needle blights notice me.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, I am there watching her back.
Pointing frantically at somebody notices.
What?
I'm like, over there, look.
Right next to you.
It's like, how can you not see it?
So certainly one, and then suddenly another arises to the north of you.
I'm getting the sense that we're a little bit fucked.
Have I noticed? Yeah.
Oh, fuck me. Okay.
And more. All around.
I'm going to start to head back to where they are. We're safer in a
suddenly,
group, right?
A druid stands up. Over here.
Where?
Another one.
Where?
Not seeing anything. What druid?
Oh, I see it. It's near where I'm standing.
Is that the druid?
Oh,
or is that down there? Oh, here. Down here.
All around the mountain.
Is that the druid? Okay.
The lightning and the rain begins to patter, and nightfall has now fallen. Or night is now, it's now night. As the spell still holds for you, disguised as druids. However, it does not seem to be deterring the berserker that's standing next to you. Okay.
Berserker.
Let's roll for initiative.
Of course.
Berserker?
Yeah.
Is it undead berserker?
No, just pretty pissed off.
So he was hiding in the grave?
With the druids.
Just waiting for us, I guess. Why can I not see? It's really strange. Huh.
Great.
Did that come up on the turn order?
Done.
Doesn't look like Cage came up.
Okay.
No, I can come up.
Sorry, Dunk, I can't find Cage's token. So I've just clicked initiative, but I can't get it onto the turn order board.
What did you roll for him?
14. Funnily enough, same as me by the looks of it. No, so hang on. The 14 is showing a Starfire instead of Cage, and then Starfire showing 3
I put
as
him on
initiative.
as 14 anyway, so...
Okay. You might want to alter... I don't know why mine came up as 14 when I rolled a 3, though.
Okay, I've got to keep track of where all these dudes are now, so... Which one is he? He's there. So he moves 1 square, okay, 1 Berserker. 2 Berserker. Where's the Berserkers?
3 Berserker, 4.
4. He starts to move along this track towards you. A Druid.
Oh, no.
This Druid here moves towards you. Here, it's your go. 100 feet away is the Berserker. Rumbling out of the rocks. Turning towards you. That's just here.
Okay, I'm gonna run away from that Berserker.
Per turn you can basically move 1 square, that's what we're saying. Okay, so if you're gonna run, I'll let you do 2 squares.
Okay.
And not take any action.
Yeah. I'm gonna run. And I will run. Oh, where's a safe place to run toward?
Can you move Cage? Yeah.
I can move Cage, yeah.
So Cage, I'm going to move there with Fisk and Irina. Still in the forest.
Yep.
You guys. So here, you've run. Yep. Okay,
Yep.
Cage. What action's Cage going to take?
I was going to, because what's that distance?
It's 425 feet.
Shit. He's just going to have to try and move closer to the battle. So that's the extent he can move,
2
right?
squares if he's just, that's all he's doing, yep.
Yep.
Starfire, you.
Well, given I can see all this happening, it'll take me ages to get to them. What I might do instead is I might... let's see, there's a druid at the back down here somewhere, isn't there? This is a druid down this corner?
That's a Berserker.
Oh, that's a Berserker. Okay. I might... Oh, maybe join the party then.
Shit, wait, sorry. Hang on. So just here, that's where the effigy thing is, yep.
Yeah. Just trying to work out what that distance was. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. So tempted to just go and try and steal the gem, but I'm worried about that other Berserker. Maybe we'll come back for the gemstone. I'll move towards the party, so I'll come this way.
So yeah, so the gemstone's there, yep, and you're moving away from that. Okay, cool. So you can move 2 squares.
Yeah.
Fisk.
I guess I'll just move up with Cage.
Okay. Berserker is moving 1, 2, so it's in your square Wolfroll, but it is unable to attack this turn.
Okay. So, waiting my turn.
Yeah, where's your turn?
I think I'm on the turn order. I was at 3.
You're not in the turn order. What did you roll?
At 3.
Are you in the turn order? No.
No, I can't see myself in the turn order.
I'll add a turn. Wolfroll 3. Okay. So I'll just redo it all in a sec. So when we do the first 3, you'll have the first go. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 1. Okay, your turn, Wolfroll.
Okay.
So you can engage. So you're within 5 feet if you want to be.
I'm going to Thunder Wave, seeing as there's no friendlies in my space. And I'm going to use a 3rd level spell slot.
Thunderwave. So DC 16 Constitution saving throw. So it fails saving throw. So it does what? 17 hit points damage. Hit points damage, and I'll throw it back 1 square. Boom. Okay.
Good. I like it back 7 squares.
Alright.
Maybe it'll fall down the hill.
Maybe.
This berserker's coming along here, and this druid is down here somewhere. Okay, and I'll just redo the top of the pops again. And this berserker is moving 1, 2 up, following you. This one is coming along here. Here, we are back to you.
Not really in any close to any of them.
Like they're splitting the party, and they're splitting the party across 500 feet of a hill with lightning and druids and berserkers. I love it. It's great. What could possibly go wrong with that? Nothing, really.
No, nothing. Not at all. I can't do any spells because I'll accidentally kill someone. That would be good. Oh. I'm just scared.
That's a berserker trait, isn't it, Doug? Don't they have stuff that they can do to scare you? Are they meant to be scary?
I wouldn't be metagaming at all, Maria, so that's okay. Hailing from uncivilized lands, unpredictable berserkers come together in war parties and seek conflict wherever they can find it.
I'm gonna move over here to go closer to that one that's near Wolfrall.
Okay. Alright, so you're within 100 feet of it if you have any ranged, unless you move 2 squares, which I think you did. So that's okay. So druid here. This druid here is running up towards you here now. You see it running in the rain. Running in the rain. Starfire, your turn. The wicker creature, the wicker form of Strahd is there. You can see the gem glowing in its heart. As the night now falls to darkness, and the storm, the only illumination is the crack of lightning across the hill of Yester Hill.
So, trying to move back towards the team so that we're not split by everybody. So I just moved 2 squares.
Yeah. Cage.
Cage is also trying to move forward so that we can all come together as a team. So 2 squares, 1, 2 this way.
Okay, Fisk.
Yeah, same thing. I'll just follow close to Cage.
This berserker steps over now 1 square, lifting. Right, so just so you know, just remind me, Nikki, you will have advantage on attacks against it next turn if you attack, because it's attacking you with a great axe and it has advantage.
Does that include if I use a spell or only units?
So it's done a critical hit on you and you take 25 hit points damage.
Damn.
Yeah, you.
Me?
It's leapt up and it's just struck down hard, throwing you, almost chopping you in half, but we won't go into that detail because, there we go. Okay. This druid runs across 1, 2, 1, 2, that's it. And berserker 3. Berserker. Down there, he's moving. 1, 2. No, that's Maria. 2, he's running along there. Druid here, moving 1, 2 up towards the effigy to protect it. Wolfroll, your turn! You have advantage if you want to attack the Berserker standing in front of you.
I think I'm going to go with a spell again. It's more likely to work for me.
So what are you casting?
I'm casting Thunderwave again, but from a higher level slot.
Right. So 17. So did you roll twice or? Oh,
No.
You're doing it at the fourth level. So yep.
Level.
So 17. If it fails, it's Constitution saving throw. Which it does. So it takes 17 hit points damage. Let's push back again.
And am I able to back off away from it?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you're not closed in, and it's pushed back, back into the square.
How
here.
far can I go?
You can move 1 square. Berserker moves up. Last druid is running up towards the effigy. Back to Berserker 1. He's coming up. He just wants to fight. He doesn't care about effigies. Berserker 2 just wants to smash some adventurers. ER, it's your go.
I'm gonna move 1 square towards that Berserker.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna smash
You
it
get
with my
advantage.
longsword. I don't know how to roll with advantage.
It's a setting. We'll just roll twice if it doesn't come up automatically for you.
Hold down the shift button, and that should do it automatically with the
Yeah,
D&D Beyond.
so
With
giving you 21, 8, 9. Yeah, I'll give you 8. So you hit, and 8 hit points damage on it. The Berserker turns to look at you and goes, ha! And doesn't look too upset about all the damage it's received so far. It's pretty cool. Druid. 1, 2. And where's my druids?
That's a little scary, isn't it? It's not upset.
I think Berserkers just keep going until you literally kill them.
I would figure that most of us know what berserkers are, right? Or do you need us to cast insight?
Oh no, you know what berserkers are. They look pretty berserk. I'm happy with that. You don't need to do that. Starfire, it's your go.
Okay, I am just trying to work out the distance now to the nearest
You can
berserker.
just use the
use the measure.
yeah, so it's 150 feet to that berserker.
Still outside of range shot. I'm gonna have to try and just come back in again. Okay, 1. Oh, come on. I'm gonna stand by Wolfroll.
Okay, that's it. Cage.
Yep. Cage is, yay, actually almost with the party as well, so he will also stand close by.
Fisk.
Yep, I'll move up as well.
So that's 130 feet. Okay.
Fisky, what are you doing?
Moving up.
I haven't seen him move. Oh, there he goes. There he goes.
Low.
And this berserker is been thunderstruck, and that's what we need. AC/DC. Thunderstruck. You need that on cue, Nikki. You need to be blaring that through. So it's unable to do anything this turn because it's getting itself back up off its ass. Druid is running up here now. Berserker here closes, and it's next coming towards you, Fist, but it's unable to do anything because it's used its movement. And that Berserker's coming up here. Druid here. And Wolf Roll, let's go again.
I think I'm going to cast lightning, call lightning.
Ooh. What's the range of call lightning?
120 feet and a 60-foot cylinder. It appears in the shape of a cylinder. 10 feet tall and radius centered on a point you can see within range. So I think that it's the only one in range of this spell, though, isn't it? If these are
the Berserker here? Is this one here, or which one?
How big are the spells then? Did you say 50 feet?
No, so sorry. Which one are you going for?
How big are how far away is that?
Right. So the one here is 100 feet, and the one over there is 100 feet. So they're both within 100 feet.
Yeah, I'll go for this one near ear.
Near ear, the one that you've already damaged. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. So dexterity saving throw. 5th level. He fails, and he is struck down, and is dead.
Yay!
And one tough motherfucker. Right, there he is. One Berserker down. And with that, this Berserker screams out a war cry, runs forward. This Druid here,
so I'm
running up towards the effigy. This Berserker here, we're back up to a new go, runs to there. We've got one more go. Berserker here, running to here. You'll go.
I'm gonna move towards the party.
Okay. Doing that, moving towards the party.
Scared.
Here. 1, 2 races to there. Starfire, you'll go. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to do some calculations. Oh, shit, 150. This Berserker? Yeah, that's the closest, isn't it? That's ear. Sorry, just trying to figure out. 102 feet. It's going to get my shot bow. Short bow. Can't speak, tired. So my short bow range looks to be 80 to 320 feet.
Yeah, so anything over 80 is a disadvantage.
Yeah, so that's why I was just trying to work out how close everybody is. Now this seems to be, this is a Berserker, right? Yep. Near Cage and the others. What about this?
That
this
one's
one?
alive. It's about to either be attacked by or attacked by.
Okay, that's fine. So he's only 70 feet
so no
away.
Disadvantage if you shoot at him.
Yep. So I'm just going to step away. I guess step forward
so
that
fine.
I'm not.
Yeah, 50 foot square. You just,
shooting.
like, I'm not going to. Yeah. So which one are you shooting?
Yeah, you're not going to sweat it. Okay.
No.
No, the light one. That's close.
Fire. Oh.
That's what it. Step 13. Out so that I don't shoot.
Alright, hold 2 hit points. That's fantastic. No worries. Good. I'll subtract that.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, that was disappointing.
Right. KG.
Cage is going to be far more effective with that one, I think. So Cage is going to cast. Excuse me. Witch Bolt. Nothing with fire just yet.
What's he casting? Ooh, Witch Bolt. Ooh, 28 against which one?
The one that's just in front of Fisk.
Alright.
Can't seem to. Why am I not being able to do that? This one.
Yeah. Now, so you move cages. Okay, so you're saying Cage is going to be in the same square and attack. Okay, yep, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, sorry, I couldn't get him to move subtly. Cool. Okay. But yeah, basically swing around fist.
What do you do? 28 damage. Boom. That's the gig.
Yeah.
What?
Did he kill him?
Hang on.
I can't fill out slots on Cade's feet either.
So he's certainly impacted by that. Fisker, the first cabin. The berserker suddenly is witch bolted, staggers in front of you, seeing an opportunity for a sneak attack as well, which you do 29 damage to him.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. That berserker's dead. Where's that druid? That druid's down there. He's doing shit. That druid's there. He's running 1, 2 to here. This berserker.
Did we kill that one? That was interesting.
This berserker takes a swing at Fisk. That's great axe. He's not going to be able to use advantage. 21.
Okay, like 21 damage.
21 to hit.
Yeah.
That hits 10 damage.
It's actually 5 because of uncanny dodge.
I beg your pardon?
I've got uncanny dodge, so you only get 5 against me.
Yep, cool.
A cool trick.
Druid.
So this guy ain't dead then? The one next to Fisk.
No, Wolfrock, you'll go.
Huh. Okay.
Oh, what was that for?
That was at the druid.
That was at the druid?
That was a lightning bolt.
This druid here?
I've got that spell going for 10
minutes.
Yep.
So DC 16.
Yep.
Druid. Oh, it saves. So what happens when it saves? Half damage or no damage? 22. 11.
Just a creature takes 3d10 lightning damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one.
So it took 11 hit points damage. Yep, cool. And then Berserker moving up, coming up, and then Druid coming racing up here. And
if you're if you're outdoors in stormy conditions when you cast this spell, the spell gives you control over the existing storm instead of creating a new one. Under such conditions, the spell damage increases by 1d10.
Is what?
Increases by 1d10.
Oh, okay.
When you're taking control of an existing storm.
So roll another 10-sided dice. 7. Nice. That is nice. Druid takes another 7. Alright, so guys, that's where I'm going to call it tonight. I'm sorry, because I've got to go up and Lily's got some infection, so I'm going to go up and relieve Rach.
Poor thing.
Cool. 2 weeks' time?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
That's good.
Sounds good.
Okay. Maddie, let me know if you've got any. If you can't find that item specifically, it should be in D&D Beyond because it's a Strahd item, so you should be able to add it.
Yeah.
And other than that, we'll catch back up where we are, where you guys are on Yester Hill. Moments, only hundreds of yards away from the gem to bring wine back to Maddie's room tomorrow.
Yay!
I think Maddie's frozen.
Oh, thanks, Nick. Thanks, Dad.
All right, thanks, guys. Let's get back into it. And
Thanks.
Thank
no
you.
worries. Cool.
Okay, cool. Take care. Have a good
Bye.
week.
Yeah, enjoy quarantine. If you get bored, give us a yell. We can probably maybe do a one-shot or something during the week.
Yeah, sounds good.
I know Bernard's got to do a one-shot for your boyfriend, so...
I'm gonna get him cracking. He's got a few things to organise. I already started the ball rolling.
Right. Very good. When I said one shot, I meant a D&D game. He's not gonna like try and shoot your boyfriend. No, that's okay.
Hopefully.
I don't think he's that good of a shot.
He's no Fisk of the first cabin.
Fisk of the first cabin, indeed. Right, thanks guys. I'll see you later.
Okay, thanks
Bye.
everyone. Have a good week.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.